guys. I excuse me. Goodness gracious, I'm losing my voice. You know, I was sitting on my porch this morning and thinking about all the things that I have to do today, and I kind of felt a little overwhelmed because I have so much to do. So I was getting upset about it, and I thought, you know what? I think I just need a time out. So I'll get my hand in right here. I picked up this brochure, and it's about some historical buildings in the little town that I live close to, and you can do kind of a walking tour and go see these houses. And I wanted to do this for a while, and so for my time out today, for my own mental health, I'm going to take you guys on a walking tour and see some of these old historical buildings. So I got my brochure, and I've got you guys along with me to keep me company. And it's going to be a little warm today, but we'll be going in and out of buildings, so I think it'll be okay. So come along with me, and I haven't seen a lot of these buildings. I don't know what ones you can go in, what ones you can't. So it'll be a brand new adventure for both of us. But I just couldn't stay home today. I have to go out. I'm getting cabin fever. And I've been working really hard this week, so I deserve a day off. So come along and let's see what we can find downtown in this little desert town. And our first building that's on my list is this building right here. Now, I don't think we can go in this building because it's actually a tax service, and it has a bunch of offices in it and a place where you can buy and sell gold. You can see the gold bar over there, the sign. And this actually used to be a bank, and it was built in 1886, and it's known as the bank that Butch Cassidy, famous outlaw, robbed on September 9th, 1900. And it was the only national bank in the state of Nevada up to November of 1903. And it also housed, at one time, our town's only newspaper. So there we have it. There's our first building. I'm going to have to go in that gold shop over there. This is Saturday, so it won't be open until Monday. But that's the size of the building, and it used to be an old bank. So that was pretty interesting. I wish we could go inside. But like I said, it's all offices, and they're all closed today on Saturday. So let's see what else we can find. Okay, now we are actually across the street from the bank building. And this is the Turin Brown Mercantile. And it's a pretty neat looking building here. I think the upstairs is not being used, but the downstairs has a phone company and a little dress shop in it. And it was built in 1898. It was the first hardware and home furnishing store in this little town. And it's been lovingly restored for historic preservation by its current owners. And there you have it, folks. That's our little building, number 2. Actually, some of the other buildings over here, just on down the street, they're all old buildings. This is a really old, this whole town was put together in about 1800s, early 1800s. So you can see, like, there's new building mixed with old building, because the cafe is actually in a very old building. We'll go check that out later, because we may get thirsty after a while. So let's see what else we can find. This building, a little further up the street, a little bit of a walk from right down there. This building is actually The old Winnemucca Firehouse. It was originally built in 1891, and it was replaced with this sandstone building in 1892. There's 2 additional wings that were added, and of course they have newer modern equipment and whatnot, and they have their whole fire trucks right in there. And over to the side over there, I understand, is a fire truck wash behind the building. And across the street from the fire department is our Winnemucca County Courthouse. It's really pretty inside. I'm sure it's closed today, but it's really old inside, really interesting. I have to go in there sometime. It was originally built in 1919, and it was burnt completely down and was rebuilt in 1921. So that's about all the history I have on that one. That's kind of a neat old building. I love the architecture. I'll zoom in here if you can see some of the, look how cool that is up there. Has a lot of character. See at the top of the columns how ornate they are. I love these old buildings. They have so much more character than the modern day buildings. That's a pretty old house right next to it too there. And there's looking down toward downtown again. Let's move on to the next house. I love this courthouse though. A lot of stairs going up there though. But even look above the door, how ornate those doors are. Love those old-timey doors. Okay, now we're across the street from the Hubbard House. It was constructed in 1912, and it has an impressive 10 rooms in this house. It doesn't look that big from the outside, so they must be really small rooms. But that was quite an impressive house for those days out here in the desert. And today, as you can see on the sign there, it houses the Fine Arts Gallery. Now I don't know if they're open, but let's walk across the street and take a look. I don't see any cars parked around here, so it's probably closed. It may be by appointment only, but let's go take a look and see. Wait till the traffic clears down here. And there's the courthouse we were just at. That also houses our police department and sheriff's department. So it looks like it's all clear. So here we go. Oh, bicycle coming. Okay. We made it. It's pretty bad I was jaywalking right in front of the county building and the police department. Look at that old board sidewalk falling apart there. Wow. I'm not sure they're even still here. Take a look at the house next door. Is pretty old too. That's pretty cool. Looks like it might be abandoned. Look at that old board sidewalk. Probably goes all the way around the house. go over here and look, take a look at this door, guys. Just the door itself is awesome. Isn't that beautiful? Totally cool. Nope. And if you look inside, oh, look at that old staircase. That is so cool. If you can see that, that's awesome. So, yeah, the rooms look like they were pretty small. Yeah, I guess you have to have an appointment to come in. Thought they might be open. Or they're remodeling, or they have moved, who knows. Looks like it was an old display case. You can see back in there a little bit. A lot of the house inside you can see along the doorways has a brick facade. Wow. Nice house though. The rooms were tiny, but it would be really nice. So I guess that's about all we're going to see in here, and it doesn't look like there's any artwork, so I suspect that they may have moved or they're doing a remodel. Darn it. Wish we could get inside and walk around. That would be fun. Okay, well this is about all we're going to see here in the old porch. The pillars. I would love to see some of these old houses in their day. The house is on the historical registry. It's a 2-story house. And I guess it's kept up by the Historical Society. I don't think anybody lives there. And it's right next door to the house we were just at that is now a museum. Like the old architecture. And they have these little gnome guys hiding in the bushes there, in the plants. I guess they're the protectors. Interesting way to make a wall. Stack a bunch of cement blocks. And of course, got to have a windmill. Really cool old porch. Somebody's keeping it up. There's hoses and things around. But I really don't think anyone occupies the home. But being a historical site, someone's probably taking care of it. I think that's so cool. I'd love to go in. 2 is called the Schoen House. It's quite a big building, 2-story. And it's actually a hotel. It was a rooming house. It was built in 1901 by an Englishman named Thomas Schoen. Okay, and the Schoen House has outlived the booming business district of Railroad Street. Not much of a booming district though, I'll tell you. And it remains a rooming house today, so you can actually rent a room in there. Pretty cool. Watch for traffic here so I don't get ran over. How cool to rent a room in such a neat old place. This porch. So cool. Oh look, they even still have the old radiators. Can you see it in the window there? For heating. And all the old entryways, all of them, even back east, had these little entryways here where you kick off your boots or your shoes. Look at this old door. Hi.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
Yep, not too bad at all. Sorry, had a glitch in my camera. Hey, I might be old, but I'm not dead yet. I like those doors. Neat windows. You don't see that anymore. This is a cool place. Oh, they have like a little box garden out there too. Growing a few veggies never hurts. And a little yard, even a little dog run. That's pretty cool. Very nice. This is looking down this way, downtown. I love this porch area. To the car now. And then take a left from there to get more buildings. You see the Winnemucca Mountain up there. See if we can find there's our W. W, if you can see it there in the middle of the screen up on the mountain for Winnemucca. That has a really neat radar tower, abandoned radar, military radar tower. You can kind of see it a little bit up there on top of the mountain. It's way up there. I also did a video on that if you want to go look back through the videos. It was one of my, I think it was the second video I ever did. I drove up there and it's pretty interesting. So if you want to take a look at that, go back through my videos, and I think it's the second one from the bottom of the list. It was pretty interesting explore up there. Now this was originally the Winnemucca Junior High School. Fancy brickwork there on the end. That belonging roof, that's kind of cool. So this is the junior high school. It was built in 1916. And however, by 1967, the town had grown so much that a new high school was built. This was originally the high school. But our high school now is quite a bit larger. So in 1967, they converted it to the junior high. And not only is it the junior high, but it also is the Humboldt County School District Administration Office. It's a pretty old school, built in 1916. Looks pretty darn good for that, doesn't it? Okay, this used to be their post office building. And it was built in 1921. And it used to house 700 post office boxes. And that was a lot in those days, but people had to come from like me, I have to drive into town to get my mail. Of course, now it is the city hall. It's no longer a post office, it's the city hall. But this was the one and only post office here for quite some time. Okay, there's supposed to be, in the current post office on Hanson Street, there's supposed to be a big mural in there. And you know, I've been in there a million times and never saw the mural. We'll have to go take a look. And it was that mural was painted by a lady named Polly Duncan in 1943. We'll have to run over there and take a look at it. Across the street from the post office we have the St. Paul's Catholic Church. This was built in 1924. The bell in the tower was donated by Senator George Nixon in 1931. And this is, I think, the main Catholic church here in town. It has a very large Spanish congregation that goes to this church. It's a really pretty church. Look at some of the ornate decoration on that church. Very beautiful. I like that little balcony window right there. And I noticed when I came in through town that they had something going on in there. Either a wedding or a funeral. I couldn't tell which. So, I don't think we're going to go in and try to film in there. They probably wouldn't like it. So, let's move on. Here by the old post office building, I just noticed this sign. Okay, Winnemucca Rocks. And it says, take one when you need one and share one with a friend. Or you can leave a rock here. Let's see if, oh, how cute. Look at these cute little rocks. Somebody painted them, and you leave your rocks here after you paint them. And you can help yourself to one, or you can leave them there. I'm not going to take one because I also paint rocks. I'm going to have to bring some of my rocks and put it here in this box. I didn't know it was here. It's pretty cool. Okay, this is called the Castro Home. It was built in 1889. And it has a two-story cottage with it. And all the original hardware. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the details up there on that. That's really pretty. That's the side of it. They have a lot of, look at these trees. Huge trees. So I don't know how well we're going to be able to see the front, but we can walk over here and see what we can see. Ooh, the shade feels good. A lot of greenery. I guess the house is pretty much kept in the original condition. Really pretty. Here's a gate here. That's a little... And here's the front of the house. Very nice detail work. Very pretty. We're in the middle of the desert, and then you see things like this with all this green, and it's very pleasant. Very pleasant. You don't feel like you're in the desert when you see things like this. Of course, this is in the middle of the town, though. Quite a difference. Out there where I'm at, it's just dirt and sagebrush. Street there is the Winnemucca Elementary School. That's a really pretty school. And I featured some of the inside of that. It's really nice inside with statues and stuff. And it's on my Cindywvlogs channel. And it's under the Girl Scout Pinehurst Derby if you want to see the inside of this one. And let's see if I can get some details on that. It looks like they're doing a bunch of work out front. Okay, it was built in 1889. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. Very ornate, very nice. The inside is very historic and very beautiful too. It was constructed in 1889. Very pretty. It's done by an architect out of Salt Lake City, Utah. This is the front of a Baptist church. One of the first churches in town. It's also on the National Registry. It was formerly the site of the St. Mary's Episcopal Church, and it turned Baptist Church in 1921. And the old St. Mary's Episcopal Church that was on this property is now at the Humboldt County Museum. And if we have time, I'll swing by there and let you see those old houses. Very cool. One thing I thought was really awesome too, look at this big tree trunk, or a piece of a tree trunk. This thing is huge. That was one big tree. And right across the way is another big piece of tree trunk. Okay, I love these houses. These are some cool old buildings. Love them. Okay. Let's walk up the street here. There's supposed to be another house up here. That is a rooming house that has historical significance. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful architecture. I love porches, and I love that porch. Okay, let's keep walking up here. Okay. This is just a nice little street. Right across the street from the grammar school. Here's another 50s style house, pretty cool. Smell pine trees. I love pine trees. This is going to be a little bit of a walk up here, but that's okay. Oh, my phone's getting hot. Here's a little electric car for you. Plug that puppy in somewhere. Just the first part of my trip downtown. I had to stop for a little while because it got so hot that I actually started feeling bad. So I'm going to continue with part 2. Please stay tuned and come back, and I will see you in part 2.